Bob Carr here with the Bob Carr Show. In the studio today, returning Mr. Jim from Complete Canine. Jim, welcome.
How are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing fantastic.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
I got my girl Soka here with me today.
How's that girl doing?
She's doing well. She's about 6 months shy of a 3-month program I've been doing with her, which is to have her completely off leash in all situations.
I got you. From all situations.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of training.
Yeah, 3 years worth. 3 years.
I got you. Hey, Jim, I want to talk to you. We were talking about this probably a week ago off camera about the different things we've noticed with the dogs. You've noticed a lot because you're with training dogs all the time, and I mentioned to you with Chase, my golden retriever, about the different crazy things they were doing in the evenings, and you went a little depth about the different seasons and the moon, different things. We were talking, like I said, off camera. So dive into that with me. You had some theories on that and some things you were researching, and I'm sure, like you mentioned, some of your clients had the same deal going on. It was just kind of weird. There was didn't make a whole lot of sense of why and where it came from, and not that any of the dogs were really doing bad things. They were just a little anxious about certain other things. So
Right. So I believe that dogs' behavior can be directly related to lunar activity. So when you have a full moon, and I'm sure you've heard, people talk about it must be a full moon out.
Yep.
There's a lot of validity to that. Dogs are hunters by nature. So when you have a full moon, you have a little bit more light. Dogs typically work best in dark. So everything's always training, right? Regardless of what I'm doing, I've got to hold the dog accountable. So their eyesight's better, their hearing's better, so they have a lot more energy, and because they don't need to hunt anymore, there's nowhere for that energy to go. So we end up seeing things like zoomies and behavior that can be considered nervous energy, just wild behavior. And again, it's just a surge of energy that they get from when they would be out hunting. We feed our dogs daily. Most of us do twice a day. A dog, being essentially a wolf, does not have to eat every day. So wolves will eat when they kill something, which can be every 2 weeks. It could be every week. It could be twice a month. It just really depends. So it's just really diving in deep on different things that will change our dog's behavior. And understanding and knowing when those things are happening will better help us to engage the dog in those situations.
I got you. Because it seemed to me, at least on my end, what I was seeing was some craziness at night with Chase, like I said, with my golden, with coming up to you, trying to get your attention more, and a little bit more aggressive with digging in to do things where usually it's more, it's the end of the day cycle for the dog, and it just seems a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more anxious about things. And little tuned up about it. Then you always read about the red moon and the harvest moon and this moon, and then you and I were chatting about that last week, so it got me thinking about it. Since I've seen you last, I think, I want to ask Jim because I know you had some theories on it. So it's kind of neat to be thinking along those lines and figuring out what's going on.
Absolutely, and it's not like lunar signs or anything like that. It's directly related to how much light the moon's putting off, or
I gotcha.
Things like that. So it's not just some wacky conspiracy. I've been doing this for almost 30 years, and just really watching the patterns of how they act and respond to different seasons, different moon cycles and things like that. So
I gotcha.
It's really fascinating. It's one of the things that I love about dog behavior, just in general, is
working with animals,
figuring it out. Yes, sir.
This is the whole species of the dogs, and then just animals in general too, of how they interact with each other.
Absolutely.
Different seasons, like you're saying, the moon. So it's pretty cool. Mr. Jim, what's happening with the rescue dog? I know you've been working with that.
So yeah, we have, and there's one family in particular that fosters, and they brought in a dog a few years ago. It's actually a few months ago, probably closer to a year. I don't know the breed. I'm guessing it's some sort of lab. I will have some pictures for you for sure. But Phil came in very, very friendly, very dog friendly, very people friendly. And they immediately got this dog in training. So this dog's been in training for just under a year now. But they're still having difficulties finding somebody to adopt the dog because so many people are looking for puppies. Phil, I believe, is about 2 years old, maybe a little bit younger. So he's a fairly big dog, but he's by far not a full-grown adult. So it'd be a wonderful family pet. He's great with kids. He's been tested with kids, dogs, just about every situation, and he's passed with flying colors. And he also comes with 6 weeks of already paid-for training. So anybody that was to adopt him would have training to learn their end. You know, dog training is more about training the person than it is the dog.
Yeah, so true.
So, but we would love to find a family for Phil. I know his fosters have been working really hard to get him adopted out.
I got you.
But the plan is to get him adopted out and to bring another dog in to help that dog find a home as well.
So if someone wants to get a hold of you to discuss adopting, how can they get a hold of you?
They can just get a hold of me at Complete Canine, whether it's completecaninемd@gmail.com or my phone number 443-790-0055, and I will get them in touch with the family and the rescue that Phil is involved with.
Good stuff. Good stuff. There'll be somebody out there who wants a good dog.
Absolutely.
You
It's
know,
just a matter of finding them. A lot of the adoption events, again, they heavily push the puppies. So a lot of the dogs are a little bit older, can get overlooked sometimes, but we can get eyes on him and people meet him. He's a
But you said he's a lab
dog.
mix of some sort?
Yeah, he's some type of mix. Could be some hound in there.
We'll make sure we get some photos in this video. It'll be down below. People can take a look.
That would be amazing.
Or
That would
behind
be
us
amazing.
talking. Hey, Jim, what do we got coming up here? Spring's around the corner. What you got this year?
Spring is around the corner, Bob. We've got, I think actively right now we have about 8 group classes a week. And we're 8, yes, sir.
Wow.
Now 5 of those fall on Saturday.
Okay.
But we are also adding a rally program, which we have kicked around a little bit in the past. But we're going full gear with competitions coming up, and we
Okay.
have several folks that like to compete, as well as our personal protection program has been meeting on Monday nights. We have a few spots available for that, and then just, you know, we've always got spots available for anyone looking for basic obedience, nose work, just about anything under the sun.
Hit us up with the number again, Jim.
443-790-0055.
Good stuff, Jim. Jim, I appreciate you coming in today and chatting with us.
Bobby, it's always a pleasure to be at TLC, brother. Thank you for having us.
Yes, sir. Likewise. This wraps up another episode of the Bob Carr Show. Stay tuned next week for another episode.